Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Community Hours. I'm TH Pine. I'm the community manager for Due Process, and I'm here to answer all your, well, most of your questions. Can't answer all the questions. Some questions are not answerable, or I'm not allowed to answer, but I'm gonna answer all the ones I can answer. So that's the plan. And after we've done that, we might play a game or two. We will see how the evening goes. Well, for me it's evening, not for all of you, I guess. Time zones and all that jizz. And yeah, Survivor Guy, I fixed the chat. I fixed the chat, but that was actually, I fixed the chat a while ago. I guess you missed the last few episodes. When is upcoming features coming out? Wait, is upcoming the last or the first card? Let me double check. Upcoming is, well, upcoming is still quite a while out. We don't have ETAs on those, on our Trello or on our roadmap cards for a reason. It's more like a general thing, so I can't really give you a time frame, unfortunately. But yeah, so yeah, kind of jumped the ship here. Jump the shark? What? How do you say that? I'm bad with English sayings. Anyway, yeah, as I said, this is Community Hours. We're doing QA, so please feel free to ask me anything about the game. And yeah, I'll try to answer whatever. So yeah, or answer questions. Ask me stuff about me, that's fine as well. I'm happy to answer whatever, if I can. And yeah, that's that. We just had a very successful sale promotion going on, so I guess there's going to be a bunch of new people here, so welcome to the community. Glad to have you here, and let's get this going. So let's take a look at the chat. Before the people that ask about balance, can I ask, what do you guys look at the programmer before hiring? Unity experience is good. There is a job page. You can go to the website. There's a job section, and I think it lists a bunch of requirements and stuff. So yeah, Unity is definitely one of the technologies that we're looking for. But there are other things that could be helpful. I guess this bunch of the stuff scrolled off screen already, but I scroll up, so you don't see me scrolling. But I'm gonna catch those questions anyway, or I'll try. Can we get stackable grenades so we can throw 20 of them like a javelin? Probably not. Odd suggestion. Do you think the offense has more of an advantage? Well, if we're looking at the stats of the DPL, which is the community-run competitive Due Process League right now, then the attackers indeed have a minor advantage, not by much though. It's only a few percent. I forgot how much it is. I'm not sure if one of the stat guys is here. If so, please enlighten us with the exact ratio. When Ed broken? That's not a question, and it's not even a sentence. I'm not sure what that means. I really enjoyed the snow texture, sound design. Any intention of using them in common map pool? Probably not. Probably again next winter. It's not a terrible idea, maybe, to reuse them in a, like, just have a winter kill house from time to time. I wonder if there's I'm not quite sure if there's an engineering problem to it. Like, can we strip out parts of the game if we don't have them and make it like less of a download or run better? I'm not sure. Interesting idea. I'm gonna actually I'm gonna pass that on and see if that's something we can and want to do. Mob buff when? I don't think the mob needs a buff, to be honest. It's for a reason the most valuable, or one of the most valuable equipments the defenders have right now. I love your flowers. Well, yeah, my flowers are great. I'm gonna tell my wife that you said that. She's gonna be very happy. We got a new all-time peak? Yeah, we did. I think 1,600 concurrent or something like that. Will there be a place for looted guns so they are not just jammed to the place they do not fit? We talked about that quite frequently, or more than one time. I heard talk about that. It's definitely a planned thing for someday. Probably, I think this is actually I think there is a solution for that coming with Chrome Economy, but I'm not 1% sure. But I think, if not, it's definitely coming at some point. It's something that's a little weird right now. If we can go over rank system and what is the idea behind not having stats, KD, and other information during matches. Well, the rank system is fairly simple. It's based on a matchmaking rating below. Like below the surface, you don't see your actual MMR, but it's there. So you gain points for winning, lose points for losing, and how many points you win or lose depends on who you're playing against. And then the ranks are just like an abstraction of that. So you start at rank 5, and then the higher, the better, basically. Hey, what we there? Scoreboard. There was another question in that. We don't show KD right now because we don't want to focus. We don't want you to focus on your personal performance over like your team's performance. We're open to ideas. Like we have a bunch of ideas for similar things that they'll do other, like having, for example, a damage breakdown after you got killed. Or like an after round report or after match report or some team stats, stuff like that, or like even maybe like your lifetime stats somewhere in your profile. Those things are something we are considering, but you'll probably never get a traditional scoreboard with your KDA on it. We don't see the value in it. Hey Payan, with the DreamHack tournament coming soon, what other things are you doing to continue competitive play outside of DPL to hopefully create an esport healthy environment? Well, we're not pushing esports ourselves too much. If the opportunity arises, like DreamHack, they just asked us basically. We're obviously gonna pick it up, and if the community comes up with stuff, we're gonna promote it and help them out. But yeah, we don't have the resources or plans right now to push the esports scene from the developer perspective, basically, on a perspective. But like, we're gonna support everything you guys come up with, or opportunities that just knock at our door. But we don't have plans to do anything ourselves, like running our own tournaments or whatever. At least not for now. Like, you never know what the future brings, but yeah. I'm one of those new people. Well, welcome. Played only a couple games, but people have been amazingly friendly, and it's super fun. Glad to hear that. We will be seeing performance improvements soon to reach max FPS. Yes, performance is always one of our top priorities right now. It's not I always say it's not a sprint, it's a marathon though. Like it's just like there's a bunch of, like it's taking its time. Like there will be a bunch of smaller, we already had a bunch of smaller improvements over the past, and there will be more in the future, and we eventually want to get at the way better performance than we are right now. Because we are also hardcore PC game nerds, and we want to run our game as smooth as possible. So the goal is definitely to reach that and cap out like 144 Hz monitors, maybe even higher than that if possible. Boom, that's not a question. That's neither one. I think having like rainy C-store or windy factory would be fine. Yeah, could work. Give them a little bit more weather. How are you guys going through the optimization for CPU usage? I would love to know right now. I have issue with it. It makes it... Well, yeah, I can't go over details, but what I can tell you about, like I just mentioned, we're working on it quite a bit, and one of the major performance hogs for the CPU right now is the networking layer, basically. There's a bunch of unnecessary stuff going on, and we have to refactor some things to strip that out and reduce the load, and that will help. And also we need to reduce or remove, like we have to reduce the amount of garbage collection that's going on during frame times. So those are things we're working on to improve the CPU performance. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the snow made the game unplayable for me. It made my game lag so much. It should not have a huge performance impact. I think it had a small one, but not a huge one. I'm sad to hear that though, but it's gone now, so it should be better. Will attackers ever get like a ballistic shield? Maybe it could be considered thick, so it could it could stop lower caliber weapons, and you could use it with a handgun like how tactical teams do now. I'll suggest you take a look at our roadmap. Wink emoji. Flak jacket plan. I'm not even sure what that is, so probably not. A lot of the new map generations have massive breezeways, but they almost always spawn at a 90-degree angle. Ideas on more shapes for alternate entries. Like not 90 degree, like you mean like a diagonal one, for example. That's actually a question that comes up regularly in the level streams, and the answer is we could do that, but it causes a lot of effort actually, because it makes you need room shapes that actually fit together at a like 45-degree angle, for example. And it also makes the game, like it makes it harder to navigate. You always have to keep in mind people have like 90 seconds to read the map, and come up with a plan, and then they're going to get thrown into the match, and they never have played that map before. So maps have to be it has to be easy to navigate the maps, or as easy as possible, or not as possible, but they cannot be too complicated, is what I'm trying to say. And it's easier to navigate 90-degree angle spaces than stuff with like small angles, basically. Survivor guy is trolling. What if defenders had some sort of a mounted LMG on some sort of shopping cart? I suggest you also look at the Trello board, but you knew that already. Please don't add deployables like Victorino said. Please no. What did Victorino say? Ballistic shield is not a deployable in that. Well, I don't know if it is, but there's definitely a ballistic shield coming, because there was one in the game in an earlier alpha version, and it actually had it's very important for attacker tactics. So it's definitely coming back, and so is the card. Just give attackers a tank. Yeah, sure. We don't need wall charges or door charges. We just bring the tank and go through the wall. Or any thoughts on wallbang prevention on Kill House? Passive wall mount. Passive? Oh, passive wall mount? You mean like something you put on the wall to prevent wallbang prevention? Maybe, probably not. The biggest issue with wallbangs right now is that you get the hit indicator sound through the wall, which is kind of an issue because it makes it too easy to fish for kills. So that's probably gonna get removed at some point. We don't really have any plans to like reinforce walls or something like that. Maybe someday in the future, but definitely not on the list right now. Like, it's not something that goes against the core idea of the game. We just don't like. Basically, we don't want to stack the game. Like, if we put too many gadgets in the game, it gets too complicated and too weird and too much stuff going on. And I'm not sure if when we get to the point where we have to, or where we're getting close to having too many, I'm not sure if like a wall and reinforcement would make the cut, honestly. But I'm not one of the game designers, so don't take this as a definite answer. But what I can tell you is it's not planned right now. I'd love to see my lifetime stats. Yeah, that's definitely coming at some point. Attack heli coming when? I can tell you that there is a model for a helicopter in the game that was actually being used in the past a long time ago during a very early version. It might make it back into the game at some point, but I cannot give you an ETA on that. You don't need to balance if you already know one team always wins. That in reference to the tank, probably. Argus nerf gas deployable. We have talked about nerf gas before. Like, it's an interesting thing. It's definitely like it's a good area denial, but right now Molotovs fill that gap. Well, we'll see. Maybe we find a way to separate the uses for those two things. Oh, actually, that's what would be for Argus. Yeah, it could be interesting. Might make it in at some point for sure. That seems more likely than a wall reinforcement to me. Any plans? Well, as I said, I'm not a game designer. Don't take this word for the absolute truth, but that's just when I'm answering questions like that. Basically, I'm going from based on what I heard about our design ideas from our game designers and from our creative lead. and I'm trying to use that information and the background I have to give you a good perspective. But yeah, I'm not them, I'm not in their heads, so I'm not the one making actually those decisions, and we don't have concrete decisions on those topics. I'm just kind of spitballing here. So take it with a grain of salt. Grain of salt. Any plans on making smokes not go through walls? We want that. We don't have plans for it right now. That's definitely coming at some point, but it's not on the roadmap. So later down the road. Yes, Warcram nades. I love it. Oh, that's about enough gas. Okay. Any info on how clans will work? In-game tags? Yeah, it's we don't. Yeah, it's probably gonna start out simple. Like you're gonna probably have a tag. You will have a clan rank or something like that, and stuff like that. Eventually, we want to give you a proper progression system with the clan and a proper ranking system for them and stuff like that. The details I'm not 100% clear on that, and the first iteration will probably be fairly simple. But yeah, tags seem likely. Or maybe even like badges for your character model or something like that. Or at least for your avatar. Pi, and I've realized that some of the things in the roadmap are the stuff that would take 1 hour max for me at least. For example, FPS specting. Why, that's okay. First person spectator is not an 1 hour task. Trust me. At least not for our game. Like if you have a brand new Unity project, probably easy. But for our game, this is not a 1 hour task. Trust me. Even for a brand new Unity project, I'm not sure that's true. Like if you consider networking, like giving you first person, like locally, okay, sure. Giving you a different camera somewhere, that's probably not too hard. But allowing you to see someone else's perspective, that's a big ask. We're working on it. It's not a 1 hour task. Any ideas on accolades for players, since there's no plans on the scoreboard? A friendly player, teacher, leader, something to signify experience to other players. Interesting idea. We have talked about like a commendation system or something like that could feed into that. Possibly, so maybe, but yeah. No concrete plans. Any plans to add something like referral code or something like that? Maybe benefits in skin, like you to invite your friends? Could be a thing if we get customization in. It's not a bad idea to make people spread the word. Like we want to support people who spread the word for sure. So yeah, maybe, but no concrete plans. Will the UAV killing us be worked on? It seems a little OP through little cracks near outside walls or small windows near roof we can't even see out of, but we die instantly from the UAV. Okay, so basically the UAV works based on a line of sight and it's supposed to do that. So if it sees you through a window or an open door, it can shoot you. However, it takes like 3 seconds to lock on if you're inside, I believe. So it's pretty hard to die to it because it gives you the big red light and the eep. If you're outside, it locks onto you in, I think, 1 or 1.5 seconds, so that's a little more dangerous, but as long as you stay inside, it takes longer. If you're getting seen by the UAV through some little cracks or something like that, then that's a bug, and that's best solved by posting the specific map and the position you were seen from the UAV from in the level feedback channel on our Discord. Because it's not like an engineering bug, it's more like, okay, here's some prop that probably doesn't work as it's supposed to be, or maybe if we have 2 props right next to each other, they create a little gap and we are not aware of something like that. So yeah, if you have situations like that, post them in the level feedback channel. Any ideas on defender headgear, like a ballistic mask or something? We have ideas, yeah. Let's talk about that after Crim Economy is in, because that's the point of development where we can add more stuff to the Defender toolkit. Like maybe like a welding mask that protects you from flashbangs, or like a helmet that protects you from headshot damage or something like that. Could be cool. I don't think that's a question. What time will it be the closest content push that is included in your roadmap? I believe we will have another update tomorrow or next week. I'm not 100% sure on that actually, and it's probably not 100% decided yet. There will be an update tomorrow or next week, and it will include some things. I can't tell you what exactly though, because I'm not 100% sure what actually will make the cut. When is the Leipzig Open being turned into a EU DPL LAN? I don't know. Ask DreamHack. Probably sometime after Corona, though. In Alpha City, all buildings have to be built strictly with only 90 degrees in order to help robot pathfinding. I love that. That's a good explanation. Can we make this canon? Any plans for more drawline colors? Okay. What you're asking is different colors for different players, so you can differentiate them. We want to solve that problem. We don't want to solve it that way. Because multiple colors is a mess for readability on the map. It's going to be really hard to find 5 different colors that are not clashing with the rest of the UI. So what we're going to do, we're going to make your drawing color yellow, similar how your puck is yellow, for example. So you actually at least know what your colors are, your lines are. And B, we're going to make it so you can see the other players' cursors on the map screen. So you can see when they're drawing. And eventually, I'm not sure if that's when that's coming, but eventually we also want you to be able to hover over a line and it shows you who drew it. So those are the ways we want to solve this. We don't think, like having yellow and blue or yellow and red color lines, that probably works, but having 5 different colors is not a thing. Maybe we get more than 2 at some point. If we do something like squad colors, potentially that could be a thing, but that's iffy already. So like it's a stretch already with considering that we don't want to clutter the UI, or not clutter, but we don't want to blend those colors in with the rest of the UI. So we have to experiment a little bit what is actually readable and what isn't. I realize that I'm pretty far scrolled up still, so you probably don't see these questions on screen right now, but it's fine. I'm getting to the bottom eventually. I feel like spectators for League should have purple line at least. Oh yeah, spectators having a different color. I mean, they have green right now, right? Why would it be purple? I guess that would be a little bit more readable potentially. Rainbow Six has the too many gadgets problem MMO. Yeah, it's kind of similar. I mean, it's per operator, but still causing a similar situation, I guess, yeah. Possible colors on player icons and pings for indication who's ping. I guess that question was asked before I answered the other question, because that leads right into what I just said. We'll probably also there try to figure out a good solution to make it to separate between different players, or differentiate between different players without having 5 different colors. Pine, I love you. I love you too, Marbles. I did not see you stream in quite some while. I guess you're still busy with high school. Are you casting DreamHack? Yeah, I'll cast DreamHack. I'm gonna be the German caster thingy. So that's gonna be fun. It's also gonna be weird to cast in German, but we'll see how that goes. Will you add cameras to the game? Okay, so wait, is that where can I direct you? Is it here? Somewhere? Where's the... Take a look at the roadmap at the Trello and click on the card for 4th map tileset. Not gonna say more than that. There's some discussion about smokes going through walls in other games. Any plans to fix Steam integration, specifically not having to close and reopen the game after adding friends on Steam? Not right now. It's definitely a pain point. Eventually we want to be able to invite people through the usual, like the regular Steam invite system. Not a priority right now, but it's a pain point. It's gonna get fixed at some point. Will there be a line to show where throwables are actually going? I'm sure everyone has missed a door and bounced back Lamau. We had that in the past, actually. It got removed mainly because it was very inaccurate. Might make it back in a revised version, but I'm not 100% on that. It's definitely not a priority if it ever comes back. Flashbangs only seems to affect Ts, I guess you're referring to defenders, even when thrown from a terrorist, or they're not terrorists, they're defenders, they're crims, right? It's completely ineffective on attackers. Bug or feature? Feature! Attackers are supposed to be immune to flashbangs, so they can actually go into the room with their flashes. What does the cadet rank on Discord stands for? Cadets are our our testers basically. They play test builds before they go live from time to time. If you're interested in helping with that, DM Aussie. Anime skins, maybe. I mean, it depends on what you mean by that. We have a devil girl already, so that's kind of anime, isn't it? Any plans to add more in-game or overall profile stats like KD or winless rate? I talked about that already, so I'm not gonna go over that again. Short answer is probably no KD, probably global lifetime stats at some point, and win-loss for sure. Thank you for putting in audio input-output control and audio tests for Virk's voice. It's awesome and a total frustration in like HLL. HLL, what game is that? I don't know. But yeah, I think it's good to have. I agree that it's a good idea to have proper audio controls. Mines planned, probably not. They don't quite fit the pace of the game. They're not predictable for attackers. Like, depends on how you implement them, I guess. But like, just like a trip mine, it's not really, it slows down attackers a lot if they can detect it, and if they can't detect it, it's completely unpredictable. So one way or the other, it kind of breaks the pace of the game. Flare buffs when? I don't think they need a buff. I think lighting has to be fixed to make them useful again, and that's gonna happen not too far in the future. So when it gets dark, it's actually getting dark again, and then flares will be useful again. And when it's getting too dark, we might buff them as well, because who knows? If it turns out it's too dark or too hard for defenders to fight in the dark and the flares are not doing enough, then sure, they're gonna get a buff again. Could defenders somehow tinker with looted flashbangs so they also gain some kind of effect from looting them, like a better flare maybe? I mean, there are ideas when we get Crim Economy that you might be able to sell them, so maybe that, but again, not a 100% on that. Chicken, you need to... Okay, Chicken is asking about first-person perspective stuff again. Wait, let me think about this really quick before I'm spilling bullshit. So... Okay, yeah. You could do it locally. You get a synced version of where the other players are looking, right? In your game, like your client is aware of where characters are looking, so you could try to simulate their point of view, but it would not be very accurate when it comes to crosshair placement. And imagine you're having first-person spectator and then the crosshair not being where it actually is. You have to keep in mind that there's also delay, right? There's a ping from the other client to the server and a ping from your client to the server. So it's not like you cannot just do it that straightforward. And also, I think there are some other issues with it right now. I'm not one of the engineers, but it's not trivial. Let's put it just like that. I don't know the specifics, but it's not trivial in our situation at least. Like, sure, as I said, if you have a brand new Unity project, it's easy to implement, but we have a little more than that. So attacker secondary high RPM SMG, please. We will see about that, maybe. Well, we definitely want to have more attacker weapons at some point. Could we get South African servers? I'm not sure what our stance on that is, actually. I think the demand is just not high enough to make it worthwhile right now, but I'm not 100% sure. When is the soonest performance update? No ETA. Sorry. But there is stuff being worked on, like there's smaller things and bigger things being worked on at the same time, so hopefully not too far away. Any story mode? No. People are asking about the single, like, sorry, I'm not laughing about your question. It's just like it's coming up so often. Like, not specifically story mode, but people are asking about some kind of single player or co-op experience a lot. And I get it. I totally get it. I am also looking for a game that gives me a proper co-op SWAT or single player SWAT experience. This game is not it though. And will probably never be it. It's just like, this is a multiplayer game first, and if we're making it big a few years down the line and we have infinite money, sure, but right now, absolutely out of scope, like very out of scope. This is a multiplayer game first. It's designed that way. It's developed that way. Doing anything else is an extreme stretch. I get why people ask about it, totally. But you'll have to, like, your princess is in another castle. I'm sorry. Could do different dashed or dotted lines. I guess they're talking about the differentiating lines from different players. It's not a terrible idea, actually. I'm gonna suggest that to our UX designer. Did I just say my UX designer? Yeah, no, our UX designer. I'm gonna give him that suggestion. It's not a bad suggestion. I assume he probably thought about it already, but I'm gonna ask him. I've never heard any thoughts about that, so I'm gonna pass that on. Oh, different colors, but like every player can choose them, basically, I think is the idea from Atleon here. So you can pick which color you're using to make different colors. So this color is for where we go, and this color is for line of sight, or you can do like this color is team A and this color is team B. Yeah, it's kind of running in the same issues, but would be more feasible for sure. But that's just like the value is far fewer. Like the main priority right now is differentiating lines from different players. If we have solved that, we could look into something like that. But this will also kind of mitigate, like the issue you're trying to solve with that will also kind of be mitigated by the icon system that's coming up soonish. So not sure if that's going to be worthwhile to invest resources in something like that. But yeah, if we, like, after we got the icon system and after we got our solution for differentiating lines from different players, we can reassess the situation and see if that would still be worthwhile to do something like that. Would it be possible to turn off seeing someone's lines, like mute if someone is trolling? Yeah, that's definitely one thing. Like right now you can only mute voice chat, but there's still text chat and there's still drawing. So that's kind of an inconsistency. That's gonna get solved at some point, but yeah. Different tones of blue, yeah, different shades of the same color would be an option, but it's hard to, like, you need 5 different ones, right? So it's kind of hard to give it 5 different shades that are different enough from each other so you can easily differentiate them, but also not getting too close to other colors on the map. Trust me when I say that our UX designer and others in the team have talked about and thought about this a lot. We're not going to solve this with colors 99%, sure. How weird is it to write our friends at DPL when you're the one writing it? Very weird. Simber is referring to the fact that I'm part of a Giant Enemy Crabs, so the developers for the game, but I'm also part of the DPL staff, so the community run league. Because I was on the DPL staff, like I'm one of the founders of DPL, and that was before I got hired by GAG. So I'm kind of in a situation where I'm sitting in both, like I'm part of both teams, and that sometimes is a bit weird. And yeah, if I'm on the, like if I'm making an official tweet or announcement in Discord where I'm referring to our friends at DPL, that definitely feels weird because I'm calling myself my own friend or something like that. It's a little strange, but most people are not aware, so it just makes sense to write that. Numbers to differentiate pings would be an option. I assume like having the avatar on it would probably be easier, maybe. We'll see. I'm not sure what the idea is. We have some plans for a ping system 2.0. I did not look into them yet, so I'm not quite sure what we're planning for that exactly. It's also not on the high priority list, so it's not coming anytime soon, but it's being thought about. Any plans to release a server binary to paid hosting providers, like you're saying, like community servers or something like that? No, not anytime soon, like not in the foreseeable future. We're not comfortable with giving out our server code quite yet. Like maybe at some point, but not right now. Custom lobbies for in-houses and tournament hosting. We already have that. It's a little bit hidden, but we have a password feature. If you go into the settings menu, in the UI settings, there is an option to enable password matches, basically. And yeah, if you put the password in, then only other people who also put the password in will be able to queue for that match. And that's how DPL runs, for example. Survivor Guy says, I think what he, and he's referring to the guy asking about cameras. What he's talking about is that on the tile set, there might be cameras. Oh no, wait, that's what I'm referring to. Look at the picture. Look at the screenshot in the 4th tile set card. HLL is Hell Let Loose. Oh yeah, I heard about that game. I think I never played it. I talked about the scoreboard already. Please watch the VOD. I don't want to go over it again. It's the 3rd time it's being asked. It's such a common request. I think a way mines could be implemented is if defenders only get one and it's super visible. The idea being it's a way for defenders to say you're not coming through this door without paying the price. Potentially, yeah. But that seems too strong. Like, what is the price? You're dead? Or you're taking like 50 damage? But yeah, if in any shape or form, that might be an option, but I'm not sure. Seems like a weird thing. Flashbangs completely reset my aim. Is that intentional? It seems like timing a flashbang barrage and multiple flash is just the best way to breach and clear. That's intentional, yes. Flashbangs are supposed to be strong. Flashbang spam is not as dangerous anymore as it used to be, though. There were days in the alpha where you could completely win a match by throwing like 4 or 5 flashbangs, and the defenders had no chance of preventing it. Killhouse is undeniably far different when it comes to wall penetration. Are maps going to be going that way in terms of design, or is that a rarity? Yeah, that's by design. Like every tile set is supposed to feel unique in some shape or form. Killhouse is especially unique though because it's our testing ground. We're testing out new concepts and stuff in Killhouse to see if they're viable. That's why you have like different things there. Like the one uniting feature is, I guess, that Killhouse is wallbang city. But you also see You see maps with the lumberyard. You see maps with the vault. You'll see maps with an airlock. You'll see maps with the garage. Like they're very different, right? There were the club maps if you were around for those, maybe. So yeah, Killhouse is kind of our testing ground for new map ideas. So it's a little bit special in that regard. Sometimes guns get bug on the air. Yeah, sometimes they're floating in the air. I'm aware of that bug. It's a little annoying. It's gonna get fixed eventually. Any idea on making tutorials necessary? Maybe. We definitely have plans to improve our current new players experience, but yeah, we will see about that. Are the plans to keep gadgets simple, or can we expect to see things similar to R6 Siege? I'm gonna be honest here, I didn't look at Siege for probably multiple years at this point, but our gadgets are supposed to be I'm not sure if simple is the correct term, but yeah, there's well, I guess in the sense of they're supposed to be easy to understand. So you can actually plan for them and make a proper plan to use them and to counter them and stuff like that. We don't want to be like a game that's completely focused on gadgets. Answered the throwable arc question already earlier. Will it be possible to change the scopes in the future? That's kind of a want feature for later for Crim Economy. Like you're gonna be able to that's not gonna be in the first iteration or first implementation of Crim Economy, but eventually we want you to be able to swap out a scope and like pay extra for a specific scope or something like that. What are you guys going to do about the advertisement? Well, there was advertisement. Look at the current player, at the player history on Steam charts or SteamDB. You think that happened without any advertisement? No. There are different plans for, there are multiple plans for different advertisement avenues. We experimented with a few things, and there will be more in the future. In combination with frequent sales and free weekends and all that stuff. Color blindness, yeah, we want to add color blindness options as well. Like there's so many things we want to do. It's like people are mentioning this in chat already, but yeah, we're a small team. We're about 20 people, and that includes all people. That includes the engineers, sure, that's the biggest group, but that also includes the artists. That includes the animation artist, I guess, is an artist as well, but it includes the 3D model, the 3D artist, the texture artist, the animation artist. Not all of that are separate persons actually, but like all the art team. It includes the community managers. It includes PR. It includes administrative tasks. It includes game design. It includes CEO stuff. All of that. Like that's all people. Like all together are 20 people, and like we're a small team. So we really have to, like, we're a small team. And time is of the essence, right? Because time is money. Like every month we work on this game costs money because people have to be paid. And B, the game is live now. It's released. So a game has if a game is not getting updates for too long or is in a shit state for too long, it's gonna die no matter what. So time is of the essence. We have to prioritize really hard and get the features out that we think are the most valuable for the game and will give the game the best chances to survive and grow. So basically every question about, oh, what is about this nice feature is always a consideration. Is this gonna make this game a success, or is this a nice to have? And sure, we want all these nice to have in at some point. And if they're cheap to do, then we might throw them in here and there. But we're mostly focusing on the things that we think are really important to make this game a success. And that's unfortunate in a lot of situations, especially when it comes to like accessibility options, because yeah, it would be nice. We have some thoughts and some plans, and I think actually I'm not quite sure if our UX designer is working on some stuff, but I at least know that he had thought about it and made some plans for it. But it's affecting, like, I guess colorblind is not super rare, but still it's a comparably small group of people, and as I said, we have plans for it. We have to fit it somewhere in the priority schedule. So at some point, yes. But I can't give you an ETA for it. Scoreboard questions for the millionth time. Watch the VOD, please. I'm not going to go over it again. How can I explain this? But on PUBG, when you click Q or E, you look right or left. So how about to add this? You're talking about leaning. Leaning is one of the other requests that's coming a lot. And leaning is interesting. It's an interesting topic, in fact. So in a very, very early version of the game, there was actually leaning. For the time being, we felt it didn't have a place in the game. But the community and also the development team are split on the idea of leaning. Like, some people like the idea and other people completely despise it. And the reason for that is that leaning potentially can cause a lot of issues in the game, mainly by making every cover, like, there are two big issues, but they're basically the same issue. It makes every cover the same, because you're always getting the perfect cover, right? Because you're always getting this little lean, so you're also like only a few pixels that are looking out behind the cover. So every piece of cover is the same, which makes, like, why do we even have different cover then if every cover can be used in the same way? And the other issue leads quite right into that. As I just mentioned, it makes you a few pixels on the screen of the enemy and you can't shoot. And we don't really want pixel peaks in this game. Sorry, my voice is cracking out. So yeah, pixel peaks are not great, and leaning usually leads to pixel peaks. So probably not gonna make it, but our current plan is to add ambidextrous aiming. So we will be able to swap your weapon from the right hand to the left hand, from right side to the left side, I should say. Because right now, if you're in hipfire or brace fire, your bullets actually spawn from the barrel of the gun. In ADS, they actually come from the center of your screen, but, well, because your gun is aligned to the center of your screen, though. But in brace and hipfire, there's actually a difference if you're aiming left or right. And right now, you don't have the option to change that. But yeah, it makes a difference if you're coming around a right corner or a left corner. And so we might implement, or we want to implement that at some point, experiment with it and see how it goes. And depending on how it goes, we might experiment with leaning afterwards. But my gut feeling is it's probably not going to make it in. But it's debated, so who knows. But a lot of people despise the idea, as mentioned. So oh yeah, there is a funny meme about Rainbow Six Siege where people, like, where someone is like abusing, or actually it's like a real life, like leaning in real life or something, it's called like that, where someone's like they're doing crouch and lean spam, and it looks really funny. And yeah, you kind of want to, like, there are ways to avoid that kind of stuff, like giving it cooldown or make it slow, whatever, but yeah. Yeah, especially with something like the mob, creating pixel peaks is really something you want to avoid. Will there be first-person spectator? Yes, it's on the roadmap even. It's gonna work in a way that you can click on someone's player character and it will put you in their perspective. But it's on the roadmap in future items though, so it's still quite a while out. The cameras are chicken. The cameras are in the picture. Well, not the cameras themselves, but there are monitors there. What do you think is feeding in those? Like, where's the feed for those monitors coming from? Okay, Uncle2 says, other games release their server binaries to specific providers under NDA non-compete. No one outside of the hosting provider and the developer has access to the server binary. What does this? Okay, I'm gonna be honest here. I'm not playing a lot of multiplayer first-person shooters besides due process. So my perspective on this is limited. But what actually does this bring you? What do you want to like? What do you want with this? Because if it's custom games, you can do this without servers, right? Okay, Survivor Guy's coming back to his suggestion with the mine. So his idea was to put a mine in a door. It's super visible, and it tells the attackers you can go through here, but only by paying the price. And the price would be they would be dead. That would be too strong in my opinion. It was just eliminated. It would be too strong. Like, why would you go through a door if someone dies there instantly? So it basically denies the door. Like, the price is just too high, which would make it super strong. It's also super unfun. Like, imagine you being the sacrificial goat here. That's that's a shitty situation. Sandwich, our level designer, is referring to Killhouse. Killhouse is us level designers' toxic pit that we throw new rooms into for Glaciers style. Yay, nay. Yeah, that's about how this works. New tileset will have some mechanics like vault or airlock that we know or something new. Probably new. I don't think. No, it's. No, it doesn't have anything like that, I believe. Not quite. I played a few rounds on it. Don't think there's anything like that. The new tileset will be the DDR tileset. Yeah, probably not. Would be fun. Kevin would love it. Kevin is our animator, and he's huge into DDR. Speaking of OST, why do I not hear the OST? Because it's playing. Damn it, the freaking monitor audio, it broke again? I'm not sure why. It's definitely playing. I think you can hear it. I can't. I'm not sure why. Why does this break all the time? Audio. Monitoring device. This looks good. This looks good. It's just not coming through. Why? Maybe it's misconfigured? Music. Monitor and output. It should be playing. It isn't. I don't know. Broke. Not too important, I guess. Is there an option to FF in ranked if you're down 4-0, for example? Not right now. Maybe we add that in the future. There's a ranked overhaul plan, so maybe. When will we be able to kick or report users mid-game? I think you are. You have to press escape and go to them, and then you're in the lobby screen, even if you're in game. So you can do like report and kick them from there. That works. Chicken writes, I don't know if I'm alone on this, but the game seems too short. It feels like a mini game. CSGO match is around 90 minutes, Vol is like 60. This game is like 20 to 30 max. Well, that's for a casual match. A ranked match goes a little longer than that. Well, twice as long. Casual matches are supposed to be short, so. Why no leaderboard? There is a leaderboard. If you're referring to a scoreboard, please rewatch the VOD. We should probably wait. Is there no? Did I not make a bot command for scoreboard? I didn't, because I was focusing on level stuff when I made those. I should probably do one. Add command. Oops, wrong button. Scoreboard to be added. Pion, in your opinion, should the game have a counter of wins, loses of tic-tac-toe? Absolutely. Playing tic-tac-toe is the best pastime activity on the map screen. I don't think it's a bad thing that the match doesn't take too long. I think that's a good thing. I think having if you want to play ranked and you have to commit to 90 minutes of game, I think that's a huge ask. Especially if you want to do like best of 2 or best of 3 even. Like you always have to consider, like you have to, like even if the match doesn't take the full 90 minutes, it can, like in CSGO, it can go that long. And that means that you have to commit to be able to be around 90 minutes. Oh, leaning this game would be very effective, I'm sure, but it would be annoying. We talked about it. We talked about it a few minutes ago. I guess that's a response to that, probably, because this is still behind, right? Yeah, okay, I'm reading message from 8 minutes ago, so. I was wondering if there are going to be FPS optimizations. Look at the roadmap. Yes, there are. Oh, there will be. I feel like shotgun spread damage is spread/damage is very inconsistent. Is there any plans or updates for shotguns in the future? Personally think R6 has the best shotgun design for shooters at ATM. Cannot comment on the R6 shotguns because I don't play R6 anymore. I played it on release for like a month or two and then stopped. But we have a Gunplay 2.0 card on the roadmap, and that will include a complete rework of how shotguns work. So yeah, they will be changed. Will the first-person spectator be lore, as in will it be flavored as a helmet camo body cam? Maybe. This is not a question, just me saying I love you, Pion. I love you too, V. I should probably start calling you Vi. I know you're fine with V, but everyone else is calling you Vi, so I don't know. I think V makes more sense, but whatever. During rank, does killing a teammate lower your elo gain? No. No. The elo is only affected by winning or losing the match, and I believe winning or losing rounds. Oh, there's no server in my region. I'd like to be able to pay for servers to be hosted in my region. If that's the only reason you want to be able to like pay for servers, it's probably easier for us to just provide those servers eventually. That's easier. Like that's less work than renting, like giving you the ability to rent them. So we will, like it's gonna happen sooner that we give you South African servers than that we actually allow you to, or give you the ability to rent your own servers some way. I'm confused. There are a few questions I cannot messages I cannot see what they're referring to. Not sure if I'm missing something or if my chat is just missing a few messages. Based on player feedback so far, post-network refactor, what would you say like the maximum forgivable latency for the game, especially competitive scene? I would pass that question on to the professional players. Well, professional, like, quote unquote. I mean, most people are saying that they can play the game fine with 180 milliseconds. But that's just from what I heard so far. I can play it fine with 180. If it goes above that, it gets a little wonky. What do you and others think of the vertical barbed wire placement in a door, which makes it really difficult to peek? Also, with limited nades, you can't really destroy them. What do you mean by vertical? Vertical is like that. So going through the door? I mean, that's intentional. That's the point of barbed wire. And yeah, you can destroy them, but yeah, you only have 2 grenades and there is like 9 barbed wires. So, I mean, that's kind of the point of them. That's why you have flashbangs. Will grenades and their physics be reworked at any point? Yeah, basically what we have right now, like the very limit, like they're not able to bounce and stuff like that. I believe, I'm not 100% sure actually if that's correct, but I believe that's still a result of we disabling the physics engine. Like basically we told Unity to disable physics at some point because it was a huge performance hog after the network refactor. And we also, like, we don't really need physics for much in the game. Like, the major thing it was being used for was ragdolls, and we thought animations are way cooler than ragdolls anyway, so we made dev animations. But yeah, they were also used for some other things. We're working on other solutions for those, like including object destruction, for example. Like, we want props to be go flying when you shoot them and stuff like that. And I assume grenades will get another update as well eventually. Is there any plan to make switching to the attack map mid-game more dynamic or fluid? As of right now, it's a huge risk to bring up the map while you're defending, but it's crucial to check for info. Maybe a holographic map that can show up on your wrist with a keybind, and if you want to draw, you have to commit to opening it fully. We don't have concrete plans for that. It's kind of a risk-reward thing, right? So it's not like a core issue. Like maybe like we have some. We experimented with a mini map in the past. It didn't bring much value, but it might come back in a revised version. So maybe we will. Like this is one of those topics where it's probably worth looking into at some point, but not right now. We don't have the resources to. Like this is a minor thing. Like this is not. This is like. It's a minor thing. It's exactly that. And we have to prioritize hard. So this is something we might look into again sometime in the future, but not right now. So as I said, we had a mini map in the past, so it's not impossible that we get one again or something like what you described. But yeah. Paid hosting will also allow leaks like ESEA to minimize latency for local leaks. I mean, at some point, reducing the ping has just extreme diminishing returns. Like if you're playing on 20 or 50, I don't believe there is a big difference. I mean, I'm not a professional player, so I might be wrong here, but I cannot imagine that there's a big difference from playing from like 20 to 50 ping. How long will it take to optimize the game as its best? Long. Like depends on what you're looking for. Like there's always more to optimize, right? So this answer is kind of hard to this question is kind of hard to answer. Like we will have multiple performance updates over the next few months. We will never stop optimizing performance probably because there's no like until we stop developing the game at some point, hopefully in the far future. It's just like an ongoing task with everything. Every time you implement something new, you always has to look into optimizing that. And we have a lot of stuff already that we can look into for performance optimization. And in general, like you can always get more out of it. There are obviously diminishing returns, but yeah, optimizing never stops. What about adding radar? I guess that's like similar to Minimap. As I said, we had that. We'll come back eventually. We'll come back maybe in a revised version. Rainy and Storm new map. Maybe sometime. More weather would be fun for sure. TH Pine, since it'll be 20 minutes since you get to the bottom of this chat, take a quick break right there. Let your scrolling hand rest. Get some water. Live life. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Also, I'm only like, well, 11 minutes behind at this point, I guess. Yo, this chat is active today. I don't think we're gonna have time to play a game. I love it. I realize having the chat on screen and not being actually like then being 11 minutes behind with my scrolling is not actually all that useful for you, but I think it's better to just go through all the questions than. I mean, I guess I could just always go to the bottom then scroll up if I'm running out of questions, but that would be a lot of back and forth as well. It's just a bit weird for the interaction because, yeah, I'm reading your answers in like 10 minutes. I'm about to make video about your process, general introduction, what the P is, and here's my question. Can I use OST music in it? I bought it on Steam if it matters. Yes, you can. You're not gonna get a content ID claim or a copyright strike. It's free to use in YouTube videos. It's not in the content ID system, so you can safely use it, and we encourage you to do so. Pressing escape then kicking does not work currently for me and the people I play with. Then please report it in bug reports because it should work. Where is he reading these questions from? 10 minutes in the past. How will the icon system work? Will it be a wheel? Actually, I don't think it's a wheel. I'm actually not sure. I did not manage to get into a playtest for it yet. I think it's gonna be a hotkey, but I'm not 100% sure, actually. I don't know. I should probably find out. It's the spring roadmap for 2021. Yeah, everything on the roadmap is like, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's spring 2021. Yes, that's not 2022. That would be ridiculous. But I guess it's not specified. You're referring to the blog post, I think, because there one category is called spring update. And yeah, that's supposed to be 2021, I guess. I think the auto shotgun is overpowered. It's strong. I mean, it's supposed to be overpowered, right? It's fulfilling its role. Let's put it that way. It's supposed to be very strong, but it's not dominating the match per se. Could you give a hint to when its next update, like 2021? I mean, yeah, there's gonna be more updates this year. Yeah. Like, what do you expect? The next update to be next year? I think the game would be dead at that point if we don't update until then. So, usually we in the past we managed to have weekly updates. Actually, well, I'm not sure if we want to get back to that. Or if we like go to a bi-weekly stuff thing schedule again or something like that. But we usually update very frequently. Stats, yeah, at some point in the future. Which engine do you prefer, Unreal or Unity? I assume you're not asking me personally. You're asking the team. Well, we're using Unity. There's not like I was not involved in the decision on which engine to use, but I think it was because they started in it. It's easy to prototype, and we stick with it. So I personally dabbled around with Unity a little bit, never touched Unreal, so can't really tell. If Unreal would have C#, I would switch. That's the statement I can get behind. I'm a huge C# fan. And don't get me wrong, I'm not a developer. Like, I'm not an engineer for Genome Crap. That's my other job I used to have. I used to be a software engineer. Well, like, still kind of am in some way. Well, let's not get into personal topics here too much. It's not a secret, but it's not really the place. What's the idea for the Defender economy? How will it work? Well, it's gonna be, well, you're gonna get Defender coins or Defender bucks in some way, and you're gonna taking stuff from the wall will cost Defender bucks. That's as much as I can reveal. Are there any plans yet for the customization tab and what players will be able to customize? Yes. I'm not sure how detailed is the roadmap about that, because there is a customization card in there. Let me take a look. Okay, it doesn't say anything, great. So that's not helpful to refer you to that. Basically, we want to start with character customization and later maybe gun customization. But character customization first. And I'm getting even further behind every minute. Holy shit, you're really typing faster than I read. That's I didn't expect that. I might have to rethink my strategy on how to tackle this Q&A. But I was talking about customization. Yeah, character customization. The idea is to be like really flexible, like choose different genders, different races, or skin colors rather, different like outfits, but in different, like you can choose your pants, you can choose your shirt, you can choose your hat stuff. Your head or whatever you want to put on your head slot, and you can mix and match all of that. That's the idea. I'm not sure if that will be the first iteration of it, but that's the plan to have it eventually. Hi from 11 minutes in the future. Well, stream delay experience right here. Yeah, I guess. The UAV can shoot and kill through storefront ceiling windows, so the skylight, I guess. Is that intentional? Yes, it is. For the stream, you could make the chat a pop-out window and have a window capture of it, then just align with the square of screen. Are you saying you want to see the scrolled version? That would probably make sense to have the scrolled version in there. To figure out how to do... I mean, I know how to do it. It would be a bit more janky, but it would work. Might be a good solution for next time, so you're actually seeing what I'm scrolling through. Due process 2 when? I'm just not gonna answer that. When everyone has access to RTX, yeah. Are you guys satisfied with the current player base? Depends on how you define satisfied. We're very happy with the current growth, and it's enough to keep the game going. Obviously, more is better, but yeah, it's not like it's fine. The game is not a disaster so far. It doesn't look like it ever will be. We're on good track right now. How much will you be able to destroy things in the destruction update? Will we be able to bring down a whole C-store shelf with bullets alone? I don't think you will be able to, like, how it worked in the past is basically you can shoot out the things in the shelf. So you can shoot out the cans and the bottles and whatnot, and those things go flying. The other thing is that, like, if you have a wall charge, that it will actually destroy stuff that is on the other side of the wall. So those are the things. I don't think you will be able to destroy a shelf with your bullets, but who knows? DP campaign when? I talked about that earlier. Never. If you want a more elaborate answer, watch the VOD. This game has massive esport potential. I definitely think the revenue streams associated with esports would help massively in expanding and financing the game. Well, what revenue streams? Usually esport, like if a game company is pushing esports, that's an investment for marketing purposes and not in revenue. If you're still talking about renting servers, that's not going to be worthwhile right now, like not whatsoever. Like if we have to put resources into making that available, and that costs us valuable time and money, which we don't have right now. And then it will bring some money from some people that might rent a server, and that's not going to be much. Like that's not going to be worth it, even like not even close. Like so no, sorry, not anytime soon. Maybe in the future, sure, but not right now. How about you use walls to climb into the roof? Getting on the roof is an itchy topic. I'm not sure if Sandwich is still here. One of our level designers. They don't like you to get on the roof if it's not intended, for good reason. I mean, there are maps where you're supposed to get on the roof, and you can. Usually there is a staircase leading there, but... Any plans for voice commands such as those in Counter-Strike? I'm sorry, by the way, my pronunciation is going down in the gutter after talking too long, apparently. Let me take a sip and then I'll answer that. So voice commands. We have a ping system right now, and it's very simple and straightforward, but it's very simple. We want to expand on that. And we have multiple ideas and multiple steps, basically. And one of the later steps is like eventually we want to have voice commands for the ping system. So you can ping and say like attack here or whatever. Or I'm gonna flash here or something like that. But yeah, that's a future thing. Let's spam the chat so Paya never gets to the end. Thanks. Helping, not helping. With the character customization, will you make sure the customization stays in the aesthetic of each team? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You will be able to have lots of different options, but they will all like there are two major things we want to make sure never break. One is aesthetics. Like all the Argus defenders will look like Argus defenders. They will have small variations. We have a few variations already, but they will all look uniform in some way. And the defenders, while they're more mix and match, obviously, they all will still look like a group of Grims in some way. And the other important thing is to keep visibility in check. So we don't want to give you skins that make you harder to see or harder to read, or color palette is important, especially for the defenders, because like the attackers will have their Argus gray, right? But the defenders are a little bit more colorful, but they will never go into the color spectrum of the Argus, so you never mistake them for an attacker. That's the two important things that we'll keep in mind when rolling out customization. Some talk about graphics cards. I'm not gonna interact with that. Do you guys have an idea for how players will be obtaining customization items? Loot boxes, progression-based, DLC, etc. Nothing I can share. Let's put it that way. If we ask faster, Payan won't be able to finish and won't end the stream due to feeling guilty. I can sit around here a while. I mean, it's getting late, but if you have questions, I'm happy to answer. Let's all ask for scoreboards. I hate you, Survivor guy. I don't. Keep going. Is the new tileset aesthetic classified information? If not, what is it? I mean, we have some sneak previews for it. You can look at the picture in the roadmap, for example. I think there's at least one more picture floating around somewhere, but we don't like it's kind of an open secret because a lot of our cadets and stuff know it, and there's some rumors going around, but there's no official reveal yet of what it is, so I'm not gonna tell you here. I love the game, but I feel like I crash and get stuck in loading screens more than playing the game, but it's still no next. I hope it gets fixed. Please report issues like that in our Discord. That helps to solve them, especially if you add your player log file. I'm getting pretty close to the end. Oh yeah, I'm catching up. I'm only 2 minutes behind. Do you fear hackers in the future? With all the bangable walls, they would seem pretty scary. I mean, there's a common request. I'm surprised it didn't come up yet today, of making the game free to play. One of the there's multiple reasons why we don't do that. One of the reasons is we don't want hackers. So yeah, eventually hackers will be a thing, even with a not free to play game. But yeah, that's definitely a fear. That's why we have easy anti-cheat. And if that's not enough anymore at some point, then we'll look into even more elaborate solutions. Bring the scoreboard down to its base components. Have a screen that tells me whether I'm better or worse than anyone in the game. Yeah, that's probably what people want to know. Hey, and Han is on YouTube again. With the implementation of new tilesets, how would that work with the map rotation? Since there are 3 types of maps per round, will the maps not just be randomly rotated? Yeah, basically. So if we have 4 tilesets, every match will be 3 out of those 4 tilesets, and it will be random. And if we have 5 tilesets, well, the same thing. Maybe we come up with with a different solution at some point, but for now, that's the plan. What can be expected of new content to come? Well, check out the roadmap. There's a bunch of stuff on there. Scoreboard just to tell us who to flame. Hey, I'm at the end. Woo! I made it. How do you check match stats? You don't yet. If you're talking about a scoreboard, that is, which you probably are. Hello, Pine in real time. Hello, Survivor Guy in real time. Welcome, like nice to see you again. Are you able to speak on the new gear items that are being planned? I mean, I can speak about the stuff that's definitely coming back, and I'm saying coming back because we lost a bunch of stuff in the network refactor. That includes the ballistic shield, although in a revised version. That includes the shopping cart technical, which is a huge shopping cart with a huge a regular sized shopping cart with a huge LMG strapped on it. And that includes the all-can suppressors for the defenders and the regular tactical suppressors or weapon silencers, I believe they're called, for Argus. So those are things that are definitely coming back. Everything else is speculation right now. We don't have, I don't think, I mean, maybe Vince has an idea what he would tackle next, actually, but there's nothing we have completely decided on yet. I'm sorry if this has been asked before, but will the ADS become more snappy? I'm not sure if it will become more snappy, but it will definitely change with Gunplay 2.0. So I suggest wait for that, and then we'll see if you still have that concern. Now I have to scroll up again. Damn it, you're too fast. What's the consideration for NVG balance? Is the new tile set is a night map? Yeah, it will have a power breaker, I believe. I'm pretty sure. What's with those comfy Argus chairs in the roadmap? Well, that's foreshadowing. What's your favorite map? I assume you're talking about tile sets. I really like C-Store, really. It's my preferred one. Is male genitalia drawing be a bannable offense? Nope. Drawing dicks on the map is kind of a staple of the game. Like, really, like, we just accepted that. It's not, it's the first thing, like, not everyone does, but like a lot of people do. When they get a drawing tool, they draw a dick. It's, you cannot stop it. Like, we learned that I wouldn't say the hard way, but we learned that from experience. Like every convention we were and showcased the game, players started drawing dicks on the map. Like it's just like it's human, or it's gamer nature, I guess. I just talked about switching about ADS. That will be part, like it might be part. I'm not quite sure if you will be able to switch faster to ADS. I think that's included there though, yeah. It will definitely be reworked, so please come back with that question if you still have that issue after the Gunplay 2.0 update. Talking about playing without mics. I guess I can give a general statement on that topic you're talking about. So our original stance a lot of years back was if you play without a mic, you're gonna lose. That stance has shifted a little bit. We want people to use a mic. We don't want to exclude people who don't, though. Not is that financially a bad idea, but it's also, it's just like we don't want that. Like it's not cool. Yeah, we want people to talk, but some people are not comfortable with it. What we want to do instead is we want to encourage you to use a mic. And we want to, like, most people don't, like, some people just don't use a mic because they don't want to talk to people. That's fine. Like, they want to talk to their friends or just be for themselves or whatever. But a lot of people don't talk to their teammates because it's awkward. They don't know them. It's scary. It's scary to talk to random people on the internet for a lot of people. For some people, it's easy. But for a lot of people, it's scary. It's hard. And we want to help people to overcome that barrier and encourage them to talk and make it easier and make it possible to find friends or at least good teammates who are fun to play with. And so a lot of our features we're working on right now or have worked in the recent past are like directed at that goal. Simple example, you can give your squad or your team a name now, right? That wasn't possible a few months back. That's a fairly recent addition. Now you might ask me, what does this have to do with players talking? Like it's the name of the squad. It's a funny feature one. Well, it's an icebreaker. Like basically to use Bart's example on this, if you go in the lobby screen and change the team name to Tunnel Snakes, then someone might go with Tunnel Snakes are awesome. We are the Tunnel Snakes. And there we go, ice broken. And it's easier to have a proper conversation now. If you don't know, that's a meme from, what's the name of the game? I forgot. I think is it one of the Fallout games? I think. So basically it acts as an icebreaker. It makes it easier to talk to people because, yeah, it's something to talk about, basically. And other features that are more communicating, like focus on communication, will work in that regard as well. Ping system is a very simple one. It's allows you to communicate with your team without actually talking. And that's the first step. It's easier to be explained on the icon system though. So the icon system will allow you to put an icon on the map, and someone else will be able to claim that icon and say, I'm gonna do that. So you put down the door charge, or maybe you put down the door charge on the red door on kitchen. Someone else clicks that icon and says, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Well, they're not saying it, but they're clicking it, which means, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And they actually pick up the door charge and put it there where you suggested it to be put. That's a positive feedback. Like there was no word spoken, but you still communicated. You suggested to put the door charge there, and someone agreed to it and actually did it. That's a positive experience, which maybe makes it easier, or that's the hope, next round to actually talk about it. Like, hey, that worked great last time. Maybe we do that again. And that's what we're trying to go with these kinds of features. We want people to ease into actually talking with each other, because talking will always be superior to any other form of communication. And it's also more fun. It's more fun. The game is way more fun if you talk to your teammates. Trust me. Like, so it's totally worth it to get over that barrier of anxiety. Try it out. It's not that hard. Just go with the, hey everyone, how you doing? Or what's the plan? I know it's awkward, or it can be awkward, but it's worth it. What about racist people in the voice chat? Is that bannable? Yes, that's very bannable. Report them through the in-game report system or DM evidence to enter your player log file to an enforcer on Discord. Real players use a drawing pen for the map and make artwork. Yeah. In one map design stream we heard that with more tile sets we will see less old tile sets. We stick with 20 maps combined with 5 tile set, we get only 4 maps per tile set. Yeah, I guess. The question is, with the new tile sets, does the amount of maps delivered will be increased? Probably not, at least not for now. Maybe at some point, but I don't really like 20 maps is a good amount of maps we can do right now, and it's usually enough to freshen up the map pool. We might change that, but I don't think that's really connected to tile sets. Yeah, you will get less maps per tile set, but you will also play those tile set less frequently. So it's not really. I don't think that there's a connection or there's a. Yeah, I don't think there's a correlation between having more tile sets and releasing more maps. I mean, if we get to the point where we have 21 tile sets, and we can't deliver a map for every tile set anymore, maybe. But that's like 21 tile sets is like, that's a long time in the future, if ever. So I don't think before that point there's a correlation there. So. Those are not questions, so I'm gonna skim over them. I read your conversation, but there's not much point in me joining in. Tunnel Snakes rule. Right, it was not awesome, it's Tunnel Snakes rule. Sorry, I got that wrong. Fallout 3, apparently. Tunnel Snakes rule. We are the Tunnel Snakes. Will there be items like sprays, such in CSGO and Overwatch? I could see that being fun when playing Argus waiting to deploy. At some point, probably, yeah. I mean, I don't see why not, especially for the Crims, actually, because that makes more sense thematically, that I can actually spray the map. About the icon system, as sad as I would be to see the depth of the drawing of smokes and barb, smoke and barb icons would be better. Yeah, definitely. I mean, we had a very, very simple implementation of that in the far past. Will the game have an open economy like CSGO or a closed skin buying system like Valorant or R6? Are you referring to community-made skins with the open economy? Because if you're referring to that, then probably not. Because I mentioned earlier the 2 important things to consider when making skins. And I don't think we can trust the community with that. It is really nice to see a developer who's actually caring about the game and the player base. Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you very much. Is there any plan to add a leading system and proning? Proning? No. Leading I've talked about earlier. Probably not. Might happen. Read the FAQ in Discord, basically. I should probably add a command for that. I'm gonna add the commands, but I'm not gonna fill them yet. Lean. So those will be placeholders. So there's no point in using them yet, but I'm just putting them down so I remember to actually fill them later. Yeah, here we go. Return of the chat implemented stream delay. I'm at 3 minutes, damn it. I have rarely been in matches where no one talks. The community is great currently. I mean, this is obviously a little bit anecdotal. We definitely have matches where nobody talks. But I feel that overall, the likelihood of having people that actually communicate with you in the game is actually fairly high. And I'm very happy about that. And I hope that doesn't change in the future. Yeah, obviously, it's a little bit random. Like for some people, it happens more, for others less. But overall, I feel like we have a pretty good pretty good raid. Argus sprays are chalk body outlines. That's that would be really funny. Wire cutters for Argus win. Joking. Yeah, I don't think we get wire cutters. I mean, maybe. It's not like completely out of the ordinary. How does the skill-based matchmaking work? Well, it's a pretty regular skill-based matchmaking. The only or the biggest issue right now is the one that every freaking skill-based matchmaking system has, especially the ones for team games, like MOBAs or CS or Siege and stuff like that. It has, you need a huge player base to make it work correctly. Like if you're looking at chess, for example, where you're playing 1v1, an Elo system works great. It works amazingly well. It's really, really, really good. It gets you to your real rating really, really fast, and it's very accurate. So you get very similar skilled opponents at a very high rate. For team games, that's way harder. So there is I don't know if you're aware, if you know the game Awesome now. It's pretty old at this point. It's a 3v3 2D MOBA really, but it's like from the side. It's a shooter MOBA. It's quite a fun game actually. What I want to talk about though is that they once wrote a blog post. Well, actually, they wrote multiple blog posts about their matchmaking system, but one of them was where they did the math and tried to figure out how many players do we need to make our matchmaker work in a really good way. And it's an insane number. And you have to keep in mind, Awesome now is like a 20-minute game, like a round takes 20 minutes, and it's 3v3. This game takes around like 45 minutes a match, or 30 to 40, depending on casual or ranked, obviously, but like longer than Awesome now, that's what I'm saying, and it's 5v5. Which means you need way more people. And that's just with like people in the same region, people queuing at the same time for the same mode, for the same server. Well, that's the same region, I guess. Stuff like that. And then you add on, like you filter down the community to, okay, people that are, so you take the whole player base, you filter it down to people that are queuing for the same servers than you at the same time as you. And that can actually be matched with your squad. Like if you have a 3-man squad, you cannot merge with another 3-man squad, right? So you filtered that down, and all of a sudden you're only at a fraction of the player base. And now with that fraction of the player base, you try to find players that are in a similar skill rating as you. And that's really hard. That's really hard. You need like a huge player count to have a good chance of actually finding people that are really close to you. On top of that, Elo works way less effective. It's way less effective in a team game than it is in a single player or in a 1v1 game, because the outcome of a match is dependent. Like you're only having 20% of impact. Well, yeah, technically, 20% impact on the match outcome. That's not completely accurate, but you get the idea. Like you're only 1 out of 5 people, so there are 4 other people who can make you lose or win the match depending on their performance. So any Elo or MMR system, or any SPMM system, I guess, for a team game takes way longer for a team game to actually get you to your real score than it does for something like chess. As I said, in chess you play a few matches and you're at your score, and then you're locked in there until you improve. Or get worse, I guess, technically. So those are the 2 things, and those 2 things combined just make it really hard to implement a matchmaking system that actually creates really good matches at a consistent rate. And the lower your player base, the harder it is. And you need humongous player bases to make it work well. So, and even then you still have the issue of the team game being harder to assess. So yeah, just a little bit of it's a topic I'm very interested in. That's why I've had a lot of stuff to say about it. But yeah, basically we have a simple MMR system in the game that just looks at, did you win, did you lose? And I think it actually includes the fact on how many rounds did you win or lose. And then it looks at who did you play with and who did you play against, and gives or takes points from your score. Gives you points or takes away points from your score. Oh, Chicken was earlier asking about selling skins on the Steam community market. Cannot say anything about that yet. We don't have any plans we want to publish about that yet. Hey, we got 500 followers on Twitch. Nice. Thank you all for being around. The stream is going for 1 hour 40 already, and questions do not stop. This is the most active community hour stream I ever had. I mean, I guess that's what you get for like a huge promo weekend with a player base like quadruples. Well, more than that, I guess, technically. Well, not necessarily. I don't know. I don't have the numbers yet. Only the concurrent players. Okay, so this is a longer, this is multiple questions. I think that firstly, you need to do some basic things, something like scoreboard, minimap, optimization, customization, skins. Every game has it, I guess, and it feels so weird to play a game without a scoreboard. Also adding a deathmatch or something else to train with will be nice. So let's go through the list. Scoreboard, I talked about this multiple times during the stream already. Watch the VODs. Minimap, also mentioned already. Maybe one day again. Didn't do much in the past though. Might come back in a revised version. Optimization, top priority right now. Customization, on the list, not top priority. Good, but there are more important things. Make the game fun first. Skins is the same thing. Deathmatch or something else to train will be nice. Yeah, we want to expand the custom, like we have this private match thing right now. We want to expand this into a proper custom game mode where you can change rules around and stuff like that. And yeah, doing deathmatch there would be a thing. But we will not have like a queue for deathmatch or something like that. There's no point in splitting not enough value in splitting the queue for something like a deathmatch, because the game is not like, Due Process is not a good deathmatch game. Let's put it that way. The game is designed to be what it is right now, a team-based breach and clear game, and every aspect of the game is designed in a way to either work towards that goal or benefit from that design of other things. Like everything is geared towards that. Like, and if you now change the game mode to a deathmatch, a lot of the things we have just are not important anymore, don't work anymore, are completely broken. Like it's just, a deathmatch would be fun for something in between, sure, for people who play a lot of Due Process already, but it's not inherently valuable right now. So we're gonna add a custom game mode eventually, and that will allow you to do deathmatch, I guess. But yeah. It has been 0 minutes since someone has asked for a scoreboard. Indeed. I think you all have for scoreboard. Special community events such as the events that R6 does. Again, I don't follow R6 really, but we definitely will want to do community events. But if you have some specific ideas, feel free to pass them along. I know this question should go to Axum, but what makes baking lights in Unity so painful? At least it's a thing that I heard a lot of from people that do stuff in Unity. I don't think Axum could actually answer that. That's probably a question for Bickle, really, who's our, what's his role called? I always forget. Graphical engineer? No, something like that. It's, I don't know actually. I only know that it takes a lot of time. Like baking a light map for a map, baking the light maps for one of our maps takes like 20 to 40 minutes, depending on the tile set. To see scoreboard, go to the top of Mount Argus, bring a boiled crab with you, place a circle of candles at the peak, and break the crab in two. Burn the crab parts and call it scoreboard win. That's how this works. Yeah, absolutely, can confirm. I talked about different pen colors for drawing earlier. Don't want to get into that again. Short answer is, we understand the problem, we want to solve it, and we have plans to solve it, but it will not include having different colors per player. It's okay. Not adding a scoreboard is not about lazy. That's about a design intent. We don't want you, like, I'm gonna go over this again because people are talking about it too much. We don't want you to focus on your personal performance because this is a team game. We want you to focus on your team's performance. So maybe we'll add a scoreboard with team stats. Sure. Will we give you your personal KDA during a match? No. Maybe your own actually, but definitely not the ones of your teammates. Like, because that just creates toxicity because you're losing and you're looking at the scoreboard and see, oh, this guy is actually 0-3. Oh, he must be the reason we're losing, so let's flame him. There's no point in that because that guy might be the one who's actually making your plans and you're just not listening to your plan, and so you're the reason you're losing. So I don't know. That's basically the idea. It's not because we're lazy. We could add a scoreboard. We don't want to. Well, not a traditional one, that is. We have ideas for a team scoreboard or damage recap or breakdown, after round recap, after match recap, lifetime score stats. All of those things are fine. Not super high priority right now, but yeah. Pine, are you casting DreamHack? I was asked that earlier. Yes, I'm gonna do the German cast. Pine is hot. Thank you, Flogel. Please no minimap, then I can't use the excuse of I was watching map. That's a good reason to not edit. Are we still able to open fire doors with shotguns from the inside? I tried doing it in a game, I could not open it. Yeah, you have to, like, okay, right now, this information will be outdated when we get Gunplay 2.0. But right now, the center bullet of your shotgun, if you embrace fire, that is 100% accurate. So it's going where your laser is. So aim for the hinges, not the hinges. Aim for the handle and shoot it, and it will open the door. That's not quite how it will work anymore after Gunplay 2.0. Basically, the idea is to prevent you to open a fire door from too far away. So there will be some changes in regards to that. DreamHack feels like a big step for DP. I mean, it's not a question, but I mean, it's cool. Definitely. We'll see how big it's gonna be and stuff like that. It's gonna be interesting, but yeah. I mean, unfortunately it's only in like it's because of Corona shit. It's online only right now, so. But it would feel more impactful if it would actually be a live event. For training grounds, having some dummies with Argus and some Crim health pool would be nice, definitely. We want to rework the training stuff and the new player experience and all that, so. When will Toxic Goo be fixed? I actually don't know. I know there are some issues with it. Technical artist, that's the term, thanks Derby. That's the role Bickle has. Technical artist was not the other way. I got it the wrong way. When will Toxic Goo be fixed? Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, just read Derby's answer and that kind of distracted me. I know it's a known issue, so someone is probably working on it. I'm not actually sure if this is a programming issue or if this is more like a level issue. I think a dedicated deathmatch mode would be great for the game. I talked about that already. I disagree. That's the short answer. So, other guy, by the way, I loved your video. It's hilarious. Wait, that was you, right? I'm not mixing up names right now. I think I'm getting 3 minutes behind. I'm getting there. Fan Barb and Toxic Goo fixed when. I'm not sure if Fan Barb is obviously unintended. It's not a bug in that sense, though. It's just that Fan was like the original implementation of Fan was not intended to be able to be accessible for the defenders. So that's a kind of new thing that got experimented with. Turns out the fan is a little too high, so the explosion doesn't catch the barbed wire. Because, as I said, it was not intended to be accessible for the defenders. So that was not considered when implementing it. Now the level designers are playing around with that idea, and all of a sudden it's an issue. I don't know. It'll probably be fixed at some point, or we stop doing it. But I think it's kind of I don't know. It's a bit weird to be able to run up to the fan. Like, I don't know what the level designer's thoughts are on this, actually. Are you guys all from Germany? No, only me. The rest of the crew is in Seattle. Pion don't ignore Let's Play Ranked? What? Though Derby, it's a little bit more of a change than just removing the center pallet. Shotguns will change a lot with Gunplay 2.0, I can tell you that much. I find the in-game voice chat sometimes doesn't work. Anything I can do to fix this? That usually means that your Vivox connection broke. Vivox is the server that we're using for the voice chat. Ask about that in the tech support channel in our Discord. That's the best I can tell you. Is there a bug with Toxic Goo right now? Yeah, sometimes it doesn't deal damage. It's a bit dumb. Any way to reduce time waiting in between rounds, or is that just going to be with game optimization? Well, yeah, we have to optimize load times. So there's not much you can do. I think it affects. I think having the game on SSD affects load times though. Are Molotovs working as intended? Have heard from a few people in games that it's overpowered. Might be solved though. That working as intended, I'm not sure if we're design-wise are happy with them right now, but I think so. I mean, I think Molotovs are somewhat in a fine place right now personally. I'm I'm not sure. Like it's like the balance questions are always a little bit hard to answer because balance is an evolving thing, right? And what is true now might not be true tomorrow. And I'm sure, I'm sure Vince, who is our game designer, has a lot of opinions about or a lot of thoughts about these kind of topics. But it always like depends on the current state of the game because the game is changing all the time because we're adding new stuff and that changes stuff and that always changes balance as well. And he's also always experimenting, like he's trying out a new balance thing, and it might work out or it might not, and it might need adjustment. So they're probably going to change at some point in the future. I don't think they're overpowered right now. You should not be able to get one-shotted by a Molotov if you had full health. I think they deal a lot of damage. I forgot how much. But they definitely not one-shot you. If you run out immediately, you should be able to, I think. If you're not in barbed wire, that is. Maybe ban the fan thing for DPL. We could. And when I say we, I'm now speaking as DPL staff, not as community manager. I don't know. Do you think it's an issue? We could talk about it. It's just like it's another rule we have to enforce somehow. I like DPL team usually likes to play the game as much as possible as is. Like there are a few things that are broken or unintended that will be tried to write rules against, but for the most part, the DPL team doesn't want to doesn't want to alter the game too much. That just complicates things. So. It's called pioneering. Okay. My ranked invite. I'm not even online. You can't invite me. I'm not online in the game. I don't have the game open. Oh, the pun was not intended. No, I first thought it's a pun as well, like pioneering, and I was like trying to figure out the joke, but then I realized you just wrote pioneering. So yeah, I don't think I didn't thought it was a pun, but I realized that there's my name in there, or part of my name. I'm getting close to the end again. Yeah, I do. 1 minute. Fun fact, if you run straight through a molly, you'll survive with 30 HP. That sounds about right, yeah. Quick ask about the scoreboard. I hate you guys. Pion, are the explosions supposed to do damage behind walls? Hard to answer that. There are right now, yes. I don't know if that's something we want to change balance-wise at some point, but that's the current implementation. It's not like a bug or something. So like it's potentially a missing feature, but it's somewhat intended. Or it's supposed to happen this way right now because that's how we implement it for now. Any plans to work with YouTubers or social media people to help maybe advertise? Only know about this game because of General Sam. Seems like lots of people are missing out. We did in the past and we will do so again in the future. 2-hour mark. Oh yeah, it's 1 a.m. already. Holy shit. I need to go to bed. I need to wake up really early tomorrow. So thanks for ruining my day. No, you're good. All good. I'm gonna cut this off at some point though, if you continue asking questions. Fine, give me Steam ID. I think it might be linked. It's definitely linked on my YouTube channel. PewDiePie color Pog. I don't think PewDiePie would like this game or enjoy. Has the team entertained the idea of crosshair customization options? Probably, like not directly, probably, because crosshairs are part of the balance of the guns. But we talked about it earlier. With the defender economy in place, we want eventually have features where you can swap out the scopes for your gun. So at that point, you basically can customize your crosshair by changing the scope or the sights. So, all right, let's all ask leaning questions so Payan gets bored and goes to bed like a healthy person. Sounds like a plan. Leaning when? All right, yeah, I think it's actually a good time to cut this off. Seems like we're running out of actually like serious questions. The chat evolved into Survivor Guy and Chicken trolling around for the most part. So yeah, I guess we did straight up 2 hours of Q&A instead of playing a match or two. That didn't happen before. Well, I'm quite happy with that. Probably be less questions and more games next time again, I assume. I'm losing more tic-tac-toe games in this game than gunfights. Seriously, if you're losing tic-tac-toe, you should up your game. Like, it's really easy to not lose at tic-tac-toe ever. So. Like, I know one strategy in tic-tac-toe that sometimes makes the opponent slip up and lets you win. But, like, if both playing somewhat conscious, then it's always gonna be a tie. Tic-tac-toe tip, always put your first X in the middle. I actually disagree with that. Like, here's the thing, like from a game, let's go into this topic. I actually find this interesting. From a game design perspective, right? Or not game design, the game theory perspective, it doesn't matter where you put the first X, because the game will be a tie anyway if both players play optimal. It doesn't matter. And like, I know exactly, as I mentioned, I know exactly one strategy in tic-tac-toe that sometimes gets your opponent to trip up and gives you a win. And that doesn't start with putting an X in the middle. It actually relies on your opponent putting an X in the middle. So, yeah, I think it's actually a bad advice. I mean, it's a good advice. Well, putting the X in the middle is actually good advice if you're playing for tie. Because it's really hard to lose when you start and you put your X in the middle. It's really hard to lose at that point. So as a newbie tip, that's actually good. Zombie Pouch, you can never lose tic-tac-toe it doesn't matter what the first move is if you're playing proper. Can't be good if you're not good at can't be good in DP if you're not good in tic-tac-toe. Absolutely. If you play second, you play middle to cause a tie. I mean, my strategy kind of revolves around you playing middle second. As I said, it's the only. There's like, if you're basically, wait, can I get a drawing on here? What's the best way to do this? I want to do tic-tac-toe session now. Is there like a web tic-tac-toe? Play tic-tac-toe org. Does this work? Oh, you play against a computer. That doesn't help. That doesn't allow me to prove my point. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, that works. Okay. Add a scene. Add a source. Just do display capture. of the top part. The bottom part. There we go. It's gonna look janky, but oh wait, that's too much there. It's gonna look janky, but it doesn't matter. So transition. Sorry. There we go. So that's the tic-tac-toe board, right? How do you start again? So if you start middle, it's really hard to lose, right? Because your opponent will probably put there, and then it doesn't really matter anymore because wherever you put, your opponent will put across. So you go like there, and they put there. There we go. Easy draw, right? It doesn't matter. So tie. But if you actually start here, and the second player goes here, you can go here. And now it's easy for them to make a mistake. They now go here in one of the corners, they lose. They have to go in one of those. If they go in a corner, you go here and win. Because now you have 2 options to win. So whatever they choose, you take the other one. So that's the only strategy I know that sometimes works. You start in a corner, your opponent goes in the middle, you go across, and if they now go in one of the other corners, which is tempting, they lose. So that's the only strategy I know. If they go here, it's a tie, because then you go like this, and then it doesn't matter anymore. Oh, actually, wait, it did matter. I've screwed it up. I guess that's a good way to lose as well. Wait, let's look that again. So this, X. They have to go here. I have to go here. Well, no, it's pretty obvious that I have to go here and then start. There we go. So that's not a good way. If you start in the middle, it's like always the same thing, because now they put in an X somewhere, it doesn't matter, and then wherever you put yours, they will put theirs on the other side. Like if you put it here, they put it there. If you put it here, they put it there. Like it's always the same. Like it's actually dangerous because you can actually screw up when you start middle, I think. Wait, let me check. If you start center and they go here, and now you go like, now you put yours here, they put theirs there. I guess that's pretty easy to avoid, I guess. I know. It usually results in a tie. So if you want to try to win, you start in the corner. That was not how you win. I was just trying to reset the game, because I'm thinking like if you start here and they go center, yeah, it doesn't work if you go, yeah, it doesn't work this way. So this kind of sucks. This doesn't give you anything, because now you, yeah. So yeah, as I said, that's the only strategy I know. Anyway, back to disabling the source, display capture, transition. What did you write about that? Play corner if you go first. Yeah, exactly. Can you play chess pine? Yeah, I can. I'm playing chess regularly, actually. I'm really bad at it, but I play bullet chess, like 1 minute plus 0 on Lichess when I'm on the toilet. So, and I'm playing like unlimited chess against my father-in-law from time to time. And my son is quite interested in chess, actually. So. Will the tutorial be updated soon? Soon is a hard term. I don't know, it will be updated eventually. We definitely have plans to improve the new player experience, because right now it's pretty terrible, to be honest. We're actually getting into tic-tac-toe theory. We do! Player numbers are dropping again. That was to be expected. Our front page coverage or promotion has ended, so. That was to be expected. The important question is now, how fast are we gonna drop? Like the player numbers will always drop. Like if you're looking at games like, there was a good example. What was it? Was it Squad? Let me check really quick. Stream charts Squad. I think it was Squad, which was a good example. Yeah. Wait, I'm gonna actually show you that again. Okay, so if you look at Squad, that's the lifetime stats for Squad. What you see here is a graph that has a bunch of spikes in it. Those spikes are from sales, free weekends, promotions, whatever. And every spike is like it goes up and then it goes down. And then the next spike goes up and goes down. And if you notice, if you look careful, you see a trend here. After every spike, the player base levels at a higher number than it did before. Like the lower bound, like the lower number, like the after spike player count is always higher than before. And that's the strategy we are trying to deploy as well. Bart calls it the come for the new content, stay for the improvement strategy, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, switch here again. So basically, yeah, we're gonna add more. We add new content because that brings people back to the game, and then they will hopefully stay for the improvements we made, and become more, become part of the core or regular player base. And so it's absolutely normal that the player base starts dropping again. We're after one of those spikes. The important question is now, how far will it drop and how fast will it drop? And we have more plans in the not so distant future for more stuff. Like DreamHack will hopefully be at least a small bump. We will see. Maybe a big one. Who knows? We'll find out. But there are more stuff. There's more stuff planned for the next few months where we will have those spikes, and that's the strategy right here. And so it's absolutely expected to see a player base going down again now, because we were covered on the store, on the Steam storefront. We were on the front page, right up there, up in center, at the top, basically, pretty much at the top. Not at the top, but you didn't even have to scroll to see the game. So that's why we got a bunch of players in, and that's why where the recent spike is coming from. And now that has ended, or at least got severely limited. So now player numbers are dropping again a little bit. Not necessarily because more people are leaving, just it's less new people coming in. Like there are always people leaving, obviously, and now the influx of new players has stopped, or has dropped a little bit, or significantly, I should say. Invigorating stream. What? Invigorating. I was misreading that. I wonder if there is a Tic-Tac-Toe 2 version that's more in depth. I mean, you can play 5 stones. That's basically advanced Tic-Tac-Toe. Or just like, what's that called in English? The game where you have to put 4 in a row, like put them in like a plastic tray and they fall down. Is it called 4 in a row? It's called 4 in a row in German. Well, not 4 in a row, but vier nimmt? I actually forgot. No, not 4 nimmt. What's it called in German? I forgot. It's so long that I played this game. That's actually solved. It's actually solved. I think the starting player can always win if he does the right strategy, but it's way harder to find the perfect strategy than in Tic-Tac-Toe. Vier gewinnt, that's the term, right? I'm not sure what it's called in English. I think that's actually called 4 in a row. Connect 4, that's the one. But yeah, it's a solved game. You can look it up on Wikipedia. There's like a strategy that always wins. On the last chip though, but it always wins if you follow it correctly. New DP update leaked. Oh, did we did that already? Let me check out Discord. Patch notes. I don't see anything. Where did it got leaked? I don't see any leaks. What are you talking about? Chess 1v1 tomorrow. I mean, we could try to set up a time. I'm gonna be pretty busy tomorrow. We can play sometime, sure. You have to go to bed sometime soon. Yeah, I probably should. Stop asking questions so I can go to bed. That's fine. Good communities care about their devs. Oh, that's nice. Get the Cyberpunk 2077 community shit out of here. In DP, we force our devs to take naps. Oh god. You have to speak to Axum then and basically everyone else on the team. Like, they're all way worse at this than I am. Like, Axum's sleep schedule is completely screwed. So is Smith's. Mets as well. Like, a bunch of devs have the most absurd sleep schedules. Was DP designed to be an esports game? Depends on what you mean by that. It's designed to be competitive. It's not an esports title first. If it would be, we would have more esports feature in there, like first-person spectator, which is not, it's on the list, but it's not in there. And in general, the spectator mode would be not as janky and limited as it is right now. So it's not designed to be an esports title in that sense, but it's designed to be competitive. Don't you think that DP is a bit overpriced in current state? I mean, it might impact player base. No, it's part of our strategy. We put the game at a high, I don't even think it's that high, to be honest, if you compare it to other games. But it's, yeah, I get it. It's not in the $10 range. But the idea is to keep a reasonable price, or have it as a reasonable price, and then just do regular and frequent sales. I'd rather pay $60 for DP than Cyberpunk 2077 or Watchdog Legions. Thank you. That's a big price. Well, even Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. Oh, that might be an even bigger price. It wasn't up. Wait, what? It was a tic-tac-toe joke? Okay, I missed that joke. I don't know. How did my tic-tac-toe theory leak and DP update? I'm confused. I said good night, Payan. Sleep. I'm a grown-up man. I can decide when I go to bed. You don't tell me. Don't bully me around. You're not my mom. Okay. Whose decision was it to make the Gat-9 the strongest weapon in the game? I don't even have to read the name. I know exactly who asked that question. Hey, Fancy. I'm not sure. I don't get it. I think the Gat-9 is actually really low tier right now. But I don't know. Whatever. You do you. The only thing I'd say DP needs right now besides optimization is more jump puzzles during planning phase. Jump puzzles? What do you mean? Like stuff you have to jump on in the planning room? Like, why is the tab so underwhelming sound-wise but powerful? Well, a lot of sounds are actually placeholders, so they will get changed eventually. Well, you see, according to my parasocial relationships guide, TH Pine, we, the community, can decide everything that you do. I don't know if that's true. I mean, you make me stay up, so you're a friend, right, Ben? I thought parasocial relationships work the other way around, right? Like, I'm trying to convince you that you are my friend, that I'm your friend, and not you trying to convince me that you're my friend. But I'm the streamer here. My friends, listen. Okay, all right. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. If you're not coming, bring up another amazing topic like tic-tac-toe, I'm gonna cut the stream now. So, thanks a lot for being around. It was very fun. We're gonna do this every week, every Wednesday at the same time. Additionally to the other 4 streams we do, there's 2 map streams on Monday and Tuesday, and there's 2 dev team training streams on Tuesday and Thursday night. What's your favorite chess opening? Always D4. Always rock. This is the rock paper scissors meta. Yeah, it's a good old rock. Ski or snowboard? Snowboard. I'm a snowboarder. I was a ski. I learned ski first, or ski, I guess it's in English, right? For many years, and then I started snowboarding and never looked back. Scissors are the tool of the modern man. Rocks are for primitive monkeys. I'm happy to be a primitive monkey. A monkey. Like rock is definitely the best option always. All right. As I said, check out the other streams. There will be one more stream this week. Tomorrow night there will be the second dev team practice stream. Schedule is also below the stream, so check it out. It's also linked in Discord, I believe, somewhere. Should be. Yeah, it's definitely, yeah, it's pinned in the stream announcement channel. There we go. Any plans for ranked seasons? Yeah, eventually. Pick up your pen. Okay. If you tell me so, my friend. Okay, all right. So yes, anything else I want to announce? You want to check out? No, I don't think so. That's the streams. That's it. That's everything really. Oh yeah, check out the DreamHack tournament. Obviously, yeah, that's good. Check out the DreamHack tournament. It's gonna be in 1.5 weeks from now, I guess. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. And it's gonna be on the DPL channel. So follow DPL, dpleague.net, or twitch.tv/DueProcessLeague, I believe. And I'm now gonna go to bed and take a short nap before I have to wake up again. So thanks a lot for being around. This was very fun. I'll see you next week. Might have to find button first. Oh wait, rating. I forgot rating. Not gonna be a bad streamer. I wanna let's do the raid. Who do we raid? First time playing this game. Katja? Is there any partner online? There is Linko. We could raid Linko again. Diagre? Sure. Or Control. There are a lot of people streaming right now. Holy moly, most of them with 1 viewers, but there are a lot of people streaming. Who is this Katja? Oh, she actually has 120 viewers. I guess we're gonna raid her, give her a warm welcome, be friendly to her, and help her out. Where's the raid button? There we go. Raid. Start raid. There we go. So yeah. See you around. Bye bye. See you next week.
F61, I'm sleeping at 39. F61, I'm sleeping at 39.